Hi, I am Shayan and today I am going to teach you narrative writing through cinematography. Step number 1. Always start with the main idea. Think about the core message or theme you want to tell through your story. Let's say we are writing a story and our main idea is don't judge a book by its cover.
Step 2. Build your protagonist. Someone the story revolves around, who faces a challenge or conflict. Let's say our protagonist is a workaholic corporate woman in her 20s named Jill, who stays in her zone, barely pay any attention to the other people. So her character is kind of introvert personality. So let's say she goes to the park near her office for a lunch break. As usual, sitting on a bench, minding her own business, eating her Oreo loaf cake when a person comes and sits behind her.
Step 3. Describe where and when the story happens and introduce the problem or challenge your character must deal with. As we mentioned, the scene took place in a park, just a regular day and a regular bench, and a random interaction with a stranger. So Jill is just sitting there eating a loaf when this stranger comes in and sits on the bench. Let's call him Victor. So Victor is a man in his 30s who looks chill, careless, suspicious and homeless. He looks like he isn't in his senses, like he's drunk. Victor sits on the bench opposite to Jill. They make eye contact and Victor greets her. And Jill just replies back and gets a bit uncomfortable by his looks but tries to ignore it. And soon after started eating his own loaf. So at this point Victor tries to start a conversation with Jill and she hesitantly, like basic introduction, what a day. Looks like you are on a office break and stuff. Silence. Now Victor leans over a little bit and Jill uncomfortably skids away a bit. He carries a drink. He pops it open, take a sip and offers it to Jill. Victor, wanna nip? Jill replies, no thanks, it's a bit early for me. Victor reaches into his jacket, causing Jill momentarily alarm. But later in this scene, it is revealed that he just took his phone out. Jill breathed a sign of relief.
Step 4. Build to a turning point. Let the story develop until the character faces a decisive moment or climax where the problem is either solved or reaches its peak. Now we already set the scene. Let's say after looking at Jill's face expression and noticing that she's still sitting there, Victor smiles and proceeds by saying, "Thanks for not running away." And Jill sarcastically replies, "Thanks for not killing me." So Jill asks him, "Why made you think I would run away?" Victor goes by explaining, "Everybody does, either as soon as they see me coming or not long after I sit down." Jill reassures him that he haven't given her a reason to leave, and he mentions the main idea line by describing his encounters, saying that people think that dirty on the outside must mean dirty on the inside too, and that it happens to him nearly on daily basis. And Jill agrees with him that it also happens to her as well, and Victor gets confused. So she explains it by saying, "I have to dress this way and stay top notch, and people mistake me as a rude and arrogant snob without even talking to me." As they both talk, he goes on by making her understand that at least it's not that bad. She got the perks of it and sat in a fine restaurant, and that he can't go to those places, but he enjoys encountering new people every day. So now Jill gets comfortable and curious about him and asks him about his life, what he does for a living and stuff. And Victor reveals that he used to be an actor. He got too carried away with the parties and later I was to shootings, rehearsals, that any director barely wanted to work with him anymore. And I ended up like this. To this, Jill sarcastically laughs and says, "Actor? Haha." This seems to trigger Victor and he gets up from the bench. Victor shuts his eyes, concentrating for a moment. Jill watches him, a little weirded out and looking around to see if anyone else is in the area. Victor opens his eyes, for furry present in them, and aggressively shouts at her, "Why? You think I'm dirty, don't you? That I can't that I can't possibly be any kind of respectable man." "Well, you listen to me, cause I'm a respectable man. I'm respectable and you refuse. You hear me? Refuse. Garbage. And all your fancy clothes and lunchtimes in the park aren't going to change that." Victor stares her down as she rushes to gather her things. Jill, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. We were just talking and I thought I would ask. And then Victor laughs at her. I still got the bit of acting in me. Left Jill amused by his acting, like, oh my god, that was acting. You literally fooled me. Both started laughing. She's still shocked. How can such a great actor end up like this? Victor goes shaking his carbonated drink. I guess it fell into a bottle and never came up for air. But it doesn't matter as he's satisfied in his life, no orders or following anyone's timing like Jill's has to. And then Jill checks the time and notices that her break is over. So in this, the turning point was her finding out his past and how their opinions matched.
5. Step 5. End with a resolution. Concluding the story by showing how the character resolve the conflict and what they learn or how they change. So as the Jill is going in the end scene, she reaches into her purse and take out few dollar bills. She holds them out to Victor and Victor refuses and she's still forcing. And he tells her that he has something for her instead. Reaches to his pocket and handed her 2 tickets of the theater. Jill confuses say tickets and how he got them. And Victor say by saying let's say it's I'm friend with her the lead actor. It's about an actor who become homeless after falling into a bottle and never coming up for the air. Supposed to be a top-notch stuff. The lead actor really get into his roles. Hope you can make it. Jill is astonished and say it's you the lead actor, but why all the act? To which Victor responds to, you will be surprised how quickly you get to know somebody when you are dressed like this. Will I see you tonight? See you later. It's Victor, by the way. Victor leaves Jill totally marvels by in the last act. We will see how Jill goes through a series of different conflicts with the Victor character and how she learned a lot of lessons from the character named Victor who goes through a series of challenging regarding his conflict role. That comes to a conclusion, same as our main idea, same thing that our protagonist Jill learned, that is, don't judge a book by its cover. And there is an interesting book, chapter, paragraph, phrase hidden in each person. Every book is themselves that you can read. By this I mean by communicating to different people. You get to see lives with different point of view. That's all for today. Give us a thumb up, share and subscribe and comment.